Hey there, Global Church family. Welcome to the ongoing conversations about international missions at Fellowship Bible Church, where you get a front row seat to hear what God is continually doing to establish his church around the world. My name's Mark Francis. I'm your host for today. I have a special family here with us in the podcast booth here in Winchester, here in Fellowship Bible Church studios. It's the Patterson family.
Hello.
Hey, yes. You hear Josh and Jennifer and Juliette and
Jillian.
Yes, Jillian and
Juliette.
Juliette. I got Juliette. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd say it's those J's. Is that
They're all J's, yeah.
All J's.
thing?
Yep.
So, and Josh and Jennifer. So,
Yep.
all right, we're going to dive right in. Was that intentional?
Yes.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Not the Josh and Jennifer.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously.
I didn't pray to God send me a wife whose name started with J.
No, it didn't happen.
That was God's design.
He did that all along.
And then we liked Jillian, and then we went from there and we said, well, we got to keep it going. So
Yeah.
Juliette.
Awesome. And you guys were wearing matching T-shirts today.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
their family camp T-shirts from last year.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, tell me what's on that, girls. Give me a little. For people who aren't watching, sometimes people can't see. Describe what's on your T-shirt. What does it say?
Do you want to read what's on, sisters? God's plan from eternity to eternity. FNBF Family Camp
Yeah.
2025.
Okay.
So FNBF is the First Nations Baptist Fellowship. So that is run by Chris Little up in where he is in South Dakota there.
Yeah.
And he's the head of that chapter of it. So we're partnering with him in
Yep.
First Nations
And
Baptist Fellowship.
we've been doing it for a couple years. You guys,
Yep.
we're here to talk about it today. But before we do, let's get to know you guys a little bit more. And I'm going
Sure.
to get to know you guys more. And hopefully I'll get to know your all's names here by the time we're done. How about
Hopefully.
That's the whole.
that? So briefly walk me through you guys' connection with Fellowship Bible Church. I want a little perspective in history because I remember first meeting you guys when you came to town as Global Church partners.
Yeah.
Walk me back even before that. You guys, you talk about how you meet, right? You said you weren't praying for somebody with the name of letter J.
I
but
was not. That is correct.
What were you praying for at that time of your life?
At that time, I wasn't actually looking for a wife. I was on my own in China, teaching at a university, having a good time. I was not specifically looking for a mate, a wife, or someone to be with. I was trying to enjoy singleness as in a foreign country by myself.
So what brought you to China then? Why? Back it up even more. I'm curious now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about two years before I met Jennifer, I was studying history at university, and I was taking Chinese as my foreign language component. And my teacher asked me if I wanted to go teach English in China. And I had always had a desire, conversations with God, a desire to do something for Him in the sense of, at that time, it was a very prideful, fleshly thought. Like, I want to do something for God so I can, prove how cool I am was my prideful feeling. But, God is wise enough to take my selfish desires and to refine them. And so I thought, great, I'll go to China. And so I quit my job and sold everything and cashed in my 401k. And I thought I was going to live in China for 40 years, which obviously didn't happen. But yeah, I ended up in China, and I was enjoying my time there. And then we were at a house church meeting, and we knew there was a couple foreign students from India who were at the university I was at, working at the hospital, and they were going to come to our house church meeting. And in classic Indian fashion, they showed up 15, 20 minutes late and rolled in late.
We'll get your side of the story in a second. Yeah. See the head shaking over there. Yeah.
And that was the beginning. It started from there, and and from there it was fairly quick process of realizing that this is who God wanted me to be with. And I think we met the last week of September. Got engaged in December.
What year?
2011.
Okay.
And we got engaged in Christmas of 2011, and then we got married in July of 2012. We got married in India.
Yes.
So Jennifer, where are you originally from, and what brought you to that small home church?
Yeah. So I'm originally from India. And in 2006, I went to China, and you guys probably know the name Wuhan. That's where I went to school. I went to medical school there. And in 2011, I moved to a hospital that was in the same city that Josh's, teaching role was in. And I was doing my internship there. And so that's when, for the record, the guy who invited me to the church said it starts at 3:30 when it actually started at 3:00. That's where we were late.
You would not have been late unless you were just led astray by somebody else.
By that person. Yes.
Do not throw Aldrin under the bus. You operated on Indian Standard Time.
I'm just saying that was what happened, just for the record.
Yep. Good for clarification.
Yeah.
And so then fast forward a little bit, you guys got married and you guys continued to live in China?
Yeah. We got married in India in 2012. And then we took a beautiful honeymoon back to where I lived in China.
Yep.
We moved in together into the same apartment and lived and taught at that university for a couple of years. And then we branched out with a desire to start working with the local house churches as opposed to doing some evangelistic campus ministry. We wanted to do some discipleship with local house churches and sort of connect those two things together. And we started a English training center in an effort to generate some revenue and to continue to increase the sort of cover for why we were in China, because we had to have a job and we had to have a working business. So if the business wasn't making money, it would be very strange for me to continue to want to live there and work there. So in an effort to do that, we thought we would do an English camp. Lots of training centers and universities do English camps. They do them every summer. And so we thought, well, that would be a great idea. But English camps can be very expensive because you have to pay the foreign teachers to come to the camp. Foreign teachers get paid not Chinese prices, they get paid American prices. And so as we were thinking about it, we came up with the idea of like, well, what if we can find a church in the United States that is a large church and has a large youth group and would be willing to send youth over to teach at the camp.
Mm-hmm.
And that ended me up with a Skype call. If you don't remember what Skype was, it was Zoom before there was Zoom.
Yep.
That ended me up at midnight China time on a Skype call with John Avery, who was then the youth pastor here at FBC.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it all began.
And the rest is history.
Yep.
So essentially then you guys had a connection with Fellowship Bible Church from that point on.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I referenced how you came here as a partner of ours, a global church partner, and that our missions team would connect with you guys. What then led you to be here back in Winchester? Not back, but you'd never lived in Winchester before. So what led you to come to Winchester?
Visited.
Yeah. So Josh is originally from Dayton, Ohio. And so we came back fall of 2019 with plans to go back to China in February. And so we stayed and spent Christmas with his family. And then, 5 days before our plane took off, Delta called us and said, hey, we're canceling all flights because of COVID. So we kind of hung out in Dayton for, we said, well, this thing's going to last for 6 months, right?
Sure.
And so 6 months later, it's like, well, let's give it another 6 months. And so that ended up being 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So at that time, I think we were just I homeschooled the girls. So we were just homeschooling as usual. Josh was just finding whatever job he could get, just to keep us going, because the plan was still to go back to China. And at some point, I think Chinese regulations or whatever said that they would give Josh a job, but not the family. So that would mean that Josh would go back to China, and then it was like, we'll see what happens. We don't know how long it's going to take for us to get there. And he basically said, I don't feel called to leave you guys here and just go do this thing on my own. So that's when it became clear. And then we spent a couple of months in Ohio just trying to find a church family and just looking around. We visited a couple of churches, but really couldn't find anything that, felt like this would be our home church.
Mm-hmm.
And so we decided to come to Winchester. Also, we have friends
Sure.
here.
Yeah.
And they were like, why don't you guys just move here? So we said, yeah, we don't really have a job holding us back. And we're looking for church and community. And we know this church. And that's what made the decision. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. And recently, Josh, you were on the Sermon Spotlight a little while back, and you talked about the apprentice program. And that was a draw potentially to come to Winchester here as well.
Yeah, conversations with John Van Drunen and Jim Poole, we talked about that. And I think at the time when we were in Ohio, I was doing a master's of theology, and we were thinking that if God wanted us to go back to the mission field, or if God wanted us to work at a church here in the U.S., then we thought that the apprenticeship program would be a good way to have that sort of hands-on experience that would be helpful for us no matter where we went. And so, talking to those guys, they said, well, maybe you should move here. And that's what we did. So
moving here, but then fast forward a couple of years later, now you're in the apprentice program, wrapping that up.
Yep.
And then there's essentially deploying that could take place that we can talk about later down the road. But we're here to talk about your involvement here now that you're living in Winchester and being a part of just the missions ministry here at FBC, and specifically family camp.
Yeah.
So I know that you guys have been to family camp.
Yeah.
For those that have not been, including me, I've heard stories about it. I've seen pictures. I've seen videos.
Sure.
Walk us through what family camp is and what your experiences there have been like. And girls, I want you to be a part of this conversation too. So how many times, this is some easy questions. How many times have you been to family camp? 3 times.
3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many people would you say that are at family camp? Just guess. Is it more than 10?
Yes.
Okay. Is it more than 50?
Yes.
Is it more than 100? So there's a lot of people that are going to family camp. Another question. What's your favorite food that you eat at family camp?
Cereal.
Cereal.
Yes.
Wow.
Charms cereal.
Lucky Charms. Yeah.
Okay.
We were
all right.
We were cruel parents. We did not give our kids.
What's your favorite activity that you do at family camp?
Yeah.
Every kid
I knew it was
gaga
Gaga
ball.
ball.
Absolutely. Maybe it's been 2 years, at least a year or two ago, we had the Van Drunens on. And they talked all about gaga ball.
You know what? As soon as we get there, they're in that pit until you force them to leave the pit.
Okay. The gaga ball is an intense sport.
It is.
Yeah. So how many times have you won gaga ball? You guys look like you're winners there. You took out all the boys, right? Just knock them out. Yeah. Yeah.
One time me and Jill were the last people standing, but then she got me out.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
See, you guys need to team up, right? You can team up with.
It's hard to team up because what you're doing is you're just hitting a ball with your hands. Hit the other person.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the other person will miss it, but then the person behind them will not be paying attention.
That's a good explanation. So you got to be alert. You got to pay attention, but then you're not going to hit the ball to get your sister out, though, right?
Not unless you're the last 2, right? Then all bets are off.
She's won 2 times.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations to that. I'm sorry I didn't bring the trophy. It's waiting for you.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get you the gaga ball trophy to
what is
bring
it?
back. So real quick, I also want to learn about things that you have learned at family camp. Give me a story of something that you guys have learned about God at family camp. Anything stand out? It's been a year now, so we got to go back to the memory bank here.
Didn't you guys do something with dirt? Didn't you learn something about dirt in your first year? No, you don't remember?
So they they had like a pitcher of clean water. So then they would say that that's how like God created the world. So they would pour the water into the pitcher and saying that God was creating the world and it was perfect. And then they would like pick up some dirt and leaves and stuff from the ground. They put it in the pitcher and say that's what happened after sin came.
It's a great picture. Yeah. That's an easy way to unpack the creation story and then sin. And so, Jennifer, walk me through what happens at family camp for the kids, because we can talk about adults as well. So this is a week-long camp that we're partnering with, as Josh said, Chris Little and other Native American churches. Fellowship Bible Church is showing up with the volunteers to help run the camp. Yeah. And so what have you seen happen with the kids ministry there at family camp?
I think for kids, like I have worked with the elementary group. So it's mostly about having fun. Yeah. Learning about Jesus and just keeping everyone safe. So
those are good rules to live by. Yep. Yeah. Have fun, learn about Jesus, stay safe. Love it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we do a bunch of stuff with them. Like we have lesson time. We play games. We have crafts. We have music, typical stuff that you would do at a VBS. And so we basically just try to have fun with those kids and just kind of build a relationship because, this is going to be our 4th year. And so like last year I showed up and some of these kids that, the first year were this high, like, we're like getting tall and, just watching them grow up and also seeing as you teach some of the lessons, seeing how they've grasped some of these concepts. And just like seeing how they see God a little different from when they first did, or it's very encouraging to see that. But that's pretty much, and like we just try to play and just have fun with people.
So as a preview coming up, by the way, remind me of the dates of when this upcoming family camp is happening. June, right?
It's June for sure.
7th to the 12th.
It's the first full week of June.
You guys are going out there as a family, right? Yeah. So the 7th is on a Sunday, and you'll arrive, and then family camp starts on the 8th.
Well, the Sunday is
Sunday night, kind of.
Sunday, like 2 p.m. is the official sort of arrival time for campers, and then we'll have we'll officially do a kickoff meal thing around 5 o'clock. So yeah.
So, Josh, give me a picture of what happens with the adults, because again, we're calling this a family camp. It's not just a kids VBS, which is helpful that you guys are having fun learning about Jesus and staying safe, but the adults, the parents of the kids and other church leaders there, what's happening during the course of the week with them?
Sure. So I've been in some of the adult sessions, but I've also actually been running the youth sessions for all 3 years. But what we tried to do, at least last year and this year, is we tried to make sure that whatever curriculum the adults are learning, the youth are learning, and the kids are learning as well. So we'd like to have it so that they can have those conversations in their cabins later at night or over lunch or dinner about the same, they're talking about the same topics. They have the same questions maybe, or they can sort of examine those same things. So for the adults, we started out simply just meeting with them in a large group and doing some teaching time, and that's kind of morphed over the years. And so what we've really tried to do, especially last year and then this year, is we've let Chris Little and Elijah Walls have really taken point on actually doing the teaching time. And so they're using the materials that we've prepared and the lesson plan that they've agreed together, and they're doing main teaching time for the adults in the morning. And then in the afternoon, what we do is we split the ladies and the men up for some discussion about what they were taught, and to go through that time just to give them an opportunity to share and have those deeper conversations. And then last year, Jim and Scott were meeting specifically with the pastors, the 3 or 4 local pastors, and just going through a discipleship time with them and working with them on some different topics and different things like that.
Just as you're highlighting that, I want to emphasize the growth that has been occurring since the very first year. And it's just now we're coming up on the fourth year. And you're alluding to the fact that now Chris and Elijah are doing the bulk of the teaching.
Sure.
And now Scott and Jim are doing more of the discipleship amongst church leaders instead of us FBC coming and doing everything.
Yep.
What have you seen take place, spiritually speaking, amongst those that have attended? Because you see the same faces as you alluded to, right?
Yeah.
Kids are getting older, taller. You're seeing kind of that part of the just time elapse and change. From a spiritual perspective, what have you seen going on amongst some of the families, and what are you looking forward to as well?
I would say for most of the families, a lot of them, in fact, almost all of them, are coming from what we would consider a broken situation. There's joblessness, there's divorce, there's substance abuses, there's many things going on with them, and so we've had a couple guys who have come, and I know if two of them are still, they meet with Jim once a week, and he studies with them through the Zoom or on the phone, and so those guys are really growing in the sense that last year in the guys session, right, Jim was leading the guys session, and we had a guy there, someone that Jim has been discipling for a year or two, and then that guy was helping to carry the conversation and lead the conversation and really give examples from his own life about how his trust in God has grown and how understanding God's heart for humanity and the way that God operates through grace towards us, and how that's different than the way they've been taught in the past. A transactional God who's focusing solely on our efforts and our deeds, sort of thing. And so, and even on, within the leaders, there was. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but the first year there was a moment. I was actually not at this moment because I had driven Jim to the airport to drop him off very early in the morning. But there was a breakfast devotional in which one of the local pastors there sort of was asked to speak, and he delivered a very sad, sort of works-based, high pressure, sort of like, hey, you need to get right with God right now, and you need to start doing X, Y, and Z. And it was, they were all very excited. They were all very interested in it. And, that's because that's what they're used to. And it's interesting, this same guy, he's been with us now. This is going to be his fourth year. He's been doing stuff with us. And, Scott and Jim met with him about 6 months ago at a different conference. And in that conference, that gentleman broke down, and he just really, he let Scott and Jim know. He said, I've been teaching the wrong thing for years. I've been putting people under the law. I've been forcing people to please God through their own efforts, and I haven't really understood God's grace at all. And so, that's such a, it's such a great thing to hear. And so I'm actually looking forward to that, to seeing that gentleman who I haven't seen since that time. And we know them, we've interacted with them on many occasions while they're there, and we have a decent relationship with them in that sense. But to really have an opportunity to chat with that guy and to really see the change in his life now that he's not working for God, he's trusting in what God has already accomplished for him.
Jennifer, how about you? What are you looking forward to, and what have you seen God do over the years?
I'm excited to serve with people from FBC, because that's one of the things. I mean, it's been very encouraging for me to just be there and just have, just build that relationship, even with people that are going from FBC, and to know that, hey, we are on this mission together and we're serving together, and just watching people. It's just another way in which we can learn to work with each other, and serve with each other. And that's been one of the, just best times for me to be able to do that with people from FBC. And then, you get back here, and then that relationship has even gone deeper. So that's something that is really important to me.
That's something not to discount, because you're going to a different state, a different part of the country, practically feels like a different part of the world. Right. And yet you're bonding with people who live here locally with you.
Yeah.
But it takes that level of just kind of serving together and having a common goal with common interest together actually is bonding you guys just as much as it is serving and giving something and encouraging those who you're there for the Native American churches.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
we camp next to each other, so we see each other in the mornings, first thing in the morning. We're not ready for the day, but you're just crossing paths. That's
Right.
that's a special relationship right there.
Going to brush your teeth and whatever it is. Yeah.
Going to the shower house together, brushing teeth. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been one of, to me, just that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yep. Girls, you're a year older now too. So what are you looking forward to besides Gaga Ball? I mean, are there kids that you remember going to camp with last year? Have you seen similar girls your same age?
No, not really.
Okay.
No.
No, not really. Yeah.
But I mean, you do know you're going to family camp in a few weeks, right? So okay, so you got to look.
I do know some people.
Yeah. Okay. You're wearing the t-shirts for a reason. Yeah. So we're gonna be shipping you out there, and you're gonna be out there having fun with the other kids.
Yeah.
Anything else that you look forward to? What are nights like? Like when do you typically go to bed? Are you up later than you normally would be if you were here at home? No.
I don't think so. I don't usually check the time before we go to bed. So
Wow, that's great. Living the good life. Do you guys ever have campfires?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's usually it's getting dark. We can't see anything anymore. We just stop playing Gaga Ball and get ready for
You got to
bed.
shut it down.
Yeah. So
Gaga
it's like we're
Ball
following the daylight pretty much.
Yep. Dawn to dusk. Got Gaga Ball tournaments going on.
Well, at the campfires, there is a special little event that the kids all take place in at the campfires.
So I think it's like at the last day, or mostly every time we go to the campfire, there's like this type of grass that like sticks on your clothes and stuff. So the kids and like the teenagers, they have to pick those things and throw them at each other.
Whoa.
They don't have to.
Yeah. It's like a game.
Pick it up. So they'll just pick it up and then just pull it out and then just like throw it like it's a dart.
That's fun. You chase each other around
Except sometimes it
with
does
grass
hurt.
darts.
Because sometimes it does hurt.
Yeah.
Because they like go through your shirt and then actually
Oh,
poke you.
okay.
But they have
Rules to live by.
They do have grass dart wars.
I believe it's called spear grass.
Spear
Spear
grass.
grass?
Yeah. Spear grass wars.
Sounds adequate for what you're describing. Yeah. Okay. Do you guys do s'mores? Do you have? Okay. Do you like roasting the marshmallows?
Yes. But it just gets too hot.
Because fires are hot. Yeah.
Well, we have a
Too much
big
smoke.
fire too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big fire. It's not a little fire.
Like as big as the table.
Yeah.
Nice. It's fun. It's fun. Certainly good things to look forward to. What can we pray for you guys, but also for all the other FBCers who are going? What's on the prayer list for all of us watching and listening here?
I think travel is the first one. It usually takes us 3 days to get there. And the past 3 years, I think we've been blessed. Like we've just had not a lot of issues, but we do, hear about people having car issues or, whatever could come up. So yeah, travel would be a big prayer request.
Yeah. I mean, it's 1,800 miles. And so it's roughly, I mean, the GPS will tell you 25 hours with no stops. So it can take 2, 3, 4 days, depending on how you go. I mean, I'll just say this here and put in a plug for the Mayo family, still holds the record. They left Roanoke, Virginia on Saturday and arrived in Medora on Sunday without stopping. 4 people in a car.
Wow.
So
Just on rotation.
They still hold the record for making it in 1 day nonstop.
Wow.
But for the rest of us, it's 3 days, and especially with kids, a lot of us are bringing our families, and it's easy to get restless in the car for driving 8-9 hours a day, things like that. So, it's always good to remember the travel for that as well.
I think you can also go back to your very first thought that you had about the kids. What are you looking to do? Fun, Jesus, safety.
Yeah.
Go back. That could be your prayer. safety, make sure they learn and grow in their knowledge of Jesus, and make sure that there's some fun that takes place, that people are engaging and having fellowship together. So we just coined that today, right now.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's great.
Yeah.
Put it out
Fun,
there.
Jesus, and safety.
Yeah. Perfect.
Safety's third.
Well, I know that people who are watching and listening will be praying, so we're going to be encouraging you that way. Plenty of FBCers are going to be going. I also believe Delgados from Ecuador are coming to help again with their kids as well. And so it'll be a good time, and we're looking forward to see what God does there and get potential recap. Because some of just those brief stories that you're sharing of the kids or of this guy over the last 3 years, you've seen God grow. I know that there's going to be moments where you'll be able to capture, what God is doing in the lives of the Native American churches and their families. And we're looking forward to hearing those results.
Yeah, we are too. It's going to be exciting.
Thank you guys for being here. Girls, you did an amazing job. Okay.
Thank you for having
First
us.
podcast ever, right?
Yeah, you guys
Round of
did it.
applause for
Crushed
the
it.
girls. Yeah. Well done. Well done. Your matching shirts are looking amazing.
Yeah.
Don't get them too dirty this coming year. You know? Yeah. Just
We got a new shirt coming this year.
Red
Red. Yeah.
nice.
color though. Reddish pink.
Reddish pink.
pink.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'll always tell you the same thing. Make sure you have fun, learn something about Jesus, and stay safe.
Yeah.
How about that?
Thank
your
you.
tips, rules to live by, prayer requests for everybody. Well, thank you guys for watching and listening here on this specific episode. Continue to pray for family camp coming up and all the many other things going on around the world here with our missions program. If you want to contribute your thoughts or give prayer requests, go to the website, fbcva.org/podcast, and you can share your thoughts and notes and stories as well. Remember that there's always opportunities to pass this episode and others on to your friends. YouTube, be Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever you get your podcasts. Let them know that the Global Missions, the Global Church podcast from Fellowship Bible Church is something that you can watch and listen to, along with the others that are here, the Sermon Spotlight each and every week, and then also the Fellowship Family podcast to learn more about what's happening locally with our spiritual family here at Fellowship Bible Church. So once again, you guys did a great job. Thanks so much for being here,
you.
Patterson
Thank you.
family.
Yeah.
So until we chat again next time, remember that Christ is the one who is continually building his church until we attain to the unity of the faith and the knowledge of the Son of God.